For many, an education is merely some words upon a diploma. For others, it is the grades received on a report card. But for me, education is learning something that will be valuable in the real world. I believe that too many people rely on grades and assessments to determine whether an education was valuable or worthwhile. I strongly disagree with this idea, and want to emphasize the value of knowledge and experience. Within my classroom, I would like students to not feel the constant pressure of grades upon them, and one way I think I can do this is to offer a multiple rewrite system. If students wish to rewrite an assignment, then I will allow them to, as long as they have demonstrated an obvious effort in writing a new draft. I believe this will cause students to excel and write in a way that will help them grow instead of a way that will be a guaranteed A. Beyond this, I will try to offer extra credit. However, this extra credit will be quite difficult and count for few points. In this way, I will be able to give anyone willing to put forth the effort a better grade. Still, these grades will mean little in the real world, so I want to make what my students are learning relevant. As a history teacher, it is often hard to convince students that there is relevance in what they are learning or to inspire them. I think one way to get around this is to not put too much stock into textbooks. I would like to only minimally use the textbook, and if the resources are at my disposal, I would like to find some way to disperse articles and primary documents among my students. I believe this could be achieved through computer use, overheads, or handouts, depending on what type of school I'm at. In addition, I would like to challenge them to find a bias in the articles that I give them, as well as within their textbook. I believe that this will allow them to become readers who will not blindly accept all they read, a valuable life skill. Another hurdle in motivating students in history is the endless amount of dates thrown at them. While dates in history are very important, it is also important to realize that any computer can pull up dates faster than any human can remember them. With this in mind, I will focus more largely on the bigger pictures within history, and only require extremely important dates to be memorized, while most may be ballparked within the decade. Finally, I want to make sure that what the students read is never from a purely upper-class, white male perspective. I will make sure to provide articles and documents that look to examine the point of view of multiple minority groups throughout history. Yet, just knowing what I want to teach means very little if I don't know how I plan on teaching it. With that in mind, I will be making sure to address all of my students' strengths and weaknesses. I plan on doing this with varied assessment that will correspond with the multiple intelligences theory. I will have assignments that will allow those with musical intelligence to play or write a song, or those with logical intelligence to create calendars or graphs, etc., etc. I want my classroom to show students that they have the ability to take charge and show off their strengths, but also to push them to improve upon their weaknesses as they go through assignments that will put them in these various situations. I believe that this variety should not only be there in the students, but in myself as well. While it is necessary to lecture about history on occasion, I want to make sure that I don't fall into teaching in one manner. I want to encourage students to teach the class at times, have debates, come dressed up as different historical figures, and just make sure that I'm never lulling my class to sleep. I know that such radical methods may bring out the overly playful or disobedient side of some students, and I hope to curb some of that with the threat, and follow through if necessary, of boring, unending lecture if they can't handle fun activities. Finally, I would like to make time every week to go over something that will help my students very directly in the real world. Examples might include how to do your taxes, using various computer programs and tools, or even something like fixing an appliance. I hope that this will motivate them to believe in my teaching and to be excited and interested in coming to class. I believe that in the end, both me and my students will walk away happy at the end of each class and more fulfilled at the end of